Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Amit bro, thank you so much for the warm welcome. So, since we have already discussed in session one that why we should read Bhagavad Gita by knowing that everything which is enjoyable in this material world itself is a misery. And then in the second session, I moved immediately to verse one to give the glimpse of what we are going to study. But in session number three, we went back to the teachings of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Oh, the voice is coming. And after understanding the Mangalacharan, now we are going once again into a little bit revision of verse number 1, and then we'll go back again to verse 2. Okay. So because if without the revision, it would be very difficult. Anyway, Atha Mangalacharan. Vajnanatamiranthasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Is my voice being repeated? Double double आ रही है आवाज? Double तो नहीं आ रही ना? Acha, in this you can tell we're already sitting here. Amit Prabhu, okay, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
Omadhyandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साधयितं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. We'll all try to remember our spiritual masters. श्री चैतन्य प्रभु वंदे बालोपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेन्नानामतग्रह व्याप्तं संसार सागरात्. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to the journey of Bhagavad Gita by the blessings of various Acharya, especially Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. So we have already discussed why we should read Bhagavad Gita, and then we went to verse 1. I just explained the complete text, whatever Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Prabhupada have explained. And then we went back again to the Mangalacharan of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because without Mangalacharan, we cannot proceed to the verses. Now, some might say that, oh, what a big mistake that without doing the Mangalacharan, we went to verse 1. Actually, you can take it as a see, there is always a very nice devotional perspective to everything. In for Srimad Bhagavatam, when Srila Shukdev Goswami appeared in the first canto, 19th chapter, at that time, Parikshit Maharaj asked two questions. What should be the duty of the person? Like, what is the topmost duty of a person, and what is the topmost duty of a person who is just about to leave his prana, his life? So the questions were so interesting that even Srila Shukdev Goswami forgot to do Mangalacharan. And he started giving answers in Canto 2, first chapter, immediately. And instead of telling what one should do, he starts by saying what one should not do. And then he starts saying, okay, what one should do, let me explain that. And after explaining so many things, and then he remembered, oh, I need to do Mangalacharan also, bhai. Then in later chapters, Mangalacharan of Bhagavatam by Shukdev Goswami comes in Canto 2. So that is very interesting. So when I was meditating that, oh my God, I think I did some kind of mistake. And then I thought, okay, na, we are doing Evam Parampara Praptam. I was just following Shukadeva Goswami anyhow. Anyway, so just a quick revision for verse number 1. It's good to remember Shukadeva Goswami. It is also, Bhagavatam is also called Shuka Samhita. The prime speaker of Bhagavatam is actually Shukadeva Goswami. Please remember that. So first verse, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyotsavaha, Mamakaha Pandavashchaiva, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Now it's very interesting that first thing that comes into our mind is that why an evil person, an adharmi person like Dhritarashtra is given the first verse for Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We get some these kinds of question while preaching. So the answer is when you serve someone dal, chapati, and some sabzi, chutney, then you also give some mirchi also. Things which are not accepted by all the people who are taking the feast, but yet they are served and they give some purpose to the meal. So here this negative character is actually giving some purpose to Bhagavad Gita itself, so it is counted. It's just the mood of an acharya. Anyway, so that is why Dhritarashtra, it's a very funny way to include Dhritarashtra into Bhagavad Gita. है ना? So now our question is, why did Arjun became bewildered? So it's a revision. I already covered this, had that covered in session number 2. So why did Arjun became bewildered and fall into ignorance? So first we'll understand what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was saying as it is. So who is actually the speaker of Mahabharata? So Vaishampayan Rishi, he was explaining the topic to Janmejaya, where in Mahabharata, and Mahabharata is divided into various parvs. So there are like 100 parvs if someone is calculating very rightly. Otherwise, you will hear only 18 parvas. So in Bhishma Parva, this section of 700 verses is covered. Okay, so we have to understand where this Bhagavad Gita is actually residing. Now Dhritarashtra is saying, Kim Akurvat? What did my sons do? Now the question is, they are into the field which is actually a battlefield. Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, and he himself is saying Samaveta. They have all come together to do Yuyutsavaha, to fight. And if he is himself saying they came there to fight, then why he's asking what did they do? Because he has some malicious intention in his heart. There is something within his heart, but he's expressing something else. It's a hypocrite person. So he's saying, what did my son Arjun, what did my son Duryodhan and the Sanya, which is standing behind Duryodhan, what did they do? And what did Pandu sons do, which are headed by Yudhishthir? So now Sanjay, the Vishwanath ji, as I said, he is a very interesting acharya. He breaks down the verses into conversations. So this conversation is between Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. So if Dhritarashtra is saying, please tell me what did they do if they went to fight, then Sanjay is saying, you yourself are saying they came there to fight, Yuyutsavaha. Then why you are asking what they did? Then Dhritarashtra is saying, actually that is Dharmakshetra. So I am little bit worried. Because Shruti says in Satpat Brahmana, I told you in the second session, Kurukshetram Deva Yajanam. This Kurukshetra is the place where Devatas do Yajna. So that is why it is Dharma Kshetra. And it is also famous place which can produce Dharma because lot of pious activities have been done here. And because the association is not only with people, it can also be with place. So that association of Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, it might be possible that Duryodhan might give up his anger. He might become dharmic. अरे बेटा मेरा बेटा कहीं धार्मिक ना हो जाए. See, you can understand how evil this person is. मेरा बेटा धार्मिक हो गया तो क्या होगा? And one more fear he is having. He knew who is dharmic and who is adharmic. So by this statement, what did they do? कहीं वो धार्मिक तो नहीं बन गए? Did they become dharmic? Did they lose their anger? That means he himself is saying that the party of Duryodhan is adharmi. And he is also in that party. He is saying, I am also adharmi. And one more fear. If the place is full of dharma, producing dharma, Pandavas are naturally in dharma. So definitely who is going to win? The Pandavas are going to win. So he wants two things to happen. First, there should be no negotiation. And second, may not, like Pandavas should not win also. So there are two ichha he is having in his heart. So externally he is showing that he is very relieved. I'm fine because Bhishma Pitama is there within this party of mine, so definitely we'll win. But internally, he's actually restraining his depression because it is very difficult for the adharmis to win in the place of adharm. Now, there is one question everyone asks, that if Bhishma Pitama is a Mahabhagavat, as we know from Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 12 Mahajans, so Bhishma is also one of the Mahajan. So, why did Bhishma Pitama fought from the side of Adharma? The only reason or the only explanation given by Bhagwan Krishna in Mahabharata is that all the Kaurav party had their faith on Bhishma. They knew if Bhishma is there on our side, then definitely we have chances of winning. Even they were not sure that they will win, but they had chances. So Lord Krishna arranged this battlefield in such a way that all the Adharmi taking the shelter of Bhishma Dev, they all were very confident. Ah, we still have chance. Bhishma Dev is there. So this is the plan of Krishna because he does not want to waste time. Krishna, obviously, he doesn't want us to waste time and he himself doesn't do it. So what does he do? He makes sure there is Mahabhagat on the side of evil and everyone will take their shelter. So they will also get some mercy. Anyway, they are fighting with Bhishma and they are seeing Krishna face to face and definitely they'll die. So this is a plan of Krishna. So this the Dhritarashtra is saying, "Oh, let there be a fight. Let that happen." It is not suitable, however, to show such desire externally. So internally only he is keeping this. Now, I also explained the meaning of this kshetra. Kshetra means kheti karne ka sano na. From kshetra, khet came. This letter ksha, sometimes like part of Orissa and Bengal, they don't say ksha, they say kha. They say raksha kari Krishna, they say rakha kari Krishna. So the ksha is called kha, so kshetra became khet, like agriculture field. So this there is a hidden meaning of this dharma kshetra, means this khet or kshetra of dharma. Now there are seeds of dharma being sown early in the form of like various sages have done so many yagyas, and even Yudhishthir, who is the very incarnation of dharma, he is also there. So naturally, everything is in support of the Pandavas. So this field might produce, this field will definitely, not might, this will definitely produce dharma. But something else can also be produced. What? There are certain kinds of weeds. For those who know agriculture, definitely. Anyway, so some weeds will also become. So what are these weeds? These are in the form of Duryodhan and the other party. So those weeds will be destroyed by Krishna, Yudhishthir, and the party of Pandavas. So this is the commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on first verse. Now we'll be moving to the second verse. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Let me share my screen. Let me know if there is any trouble in seeing the screen. Start the broadcast.
It's visible now.
Screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, fine. So the second verse. दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यम् उपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. Now what does he say? He says Drishtva to, now this verse is said by whom? Sanjay. Sanjaya Uvacha. So the least number or the minimum number of verses said by Dhritarashtra is just one. The personality who has spoken more than Dhritarashtra is Sanjay, and the one who has spoken more than Sanjay is Arjun, and the most number of verses are spoken by Sri Krishna. I'll give you the exact number also after the class. So Sanjay is saying, Drishtva to Pandavanikam. So when someone is very confident, he lot of confidence, like Dhritarashtra is saying, "Oh, let that happen," because in the last verse, this was the mood of Dhritarashtra. Oh, anyway, Bhishma is there with us, we'll win. No worries. If land of dharma, anything, but internally he was very fearful. No, now the job of Sanjay is to shatter that confidence. So you have to understand the mood of each verse, why that verse is being sung, or why is it being included, why a certain word is being included. Everything has a meaning in Bhagavad Gita or any devotional scripture. Unlike the material knowledge, where anything is written in any format in without any reasoning, that is proven to be wrong after some years. But scriptures are not like that. They are very deep in understanding. All right. So Sanjay said, "Drishtva tu Pandavanikam vyudham." So it says, "Oh, have you seen the vyudha or the arrangement of Pandavas? How nicely they have arranged their army." Because they were very much surprised. What was the surprise of Kauravas? Because they were like, hey, we gave them so much trouble. For last 13 years, they were into hiding and in some kind of jungle. How were they able to get this much large army in front of us? So they were very much bewildered. Like how they were able to do that? Because 13 Akshoni Sena were with the Kauravas and 7 were with Pandavas. If I remember very well. If I'm wrong, someone can correct later on. Anyway, so they were very much surprised how they were able to get this much amount of army. So Sanjay is actually teasing, hey, Drishtva to Pandavanikam. See this. Now see, he's saying Drishtva. Now Yudhishthir is, Dhritarashtra is actually blind. Still he's saying, see, Drishtva. After seeing this amount of army arranged by the Pandavas, the soldier of Pandavas, Pandavanikam means soldier of Pandavas. He's saying, what does the Duryodhan do? Because the question was, Samaveta Yusva Kim Akurvat. What did they do? So now Sanjay is saying, I'll tell you what did they do. What did they did? Okay. So he's saying, Vyudham Duryodhanas tada. Now he's saying Duryodhan did something. Now there is one word here. Please be very attentive to that word. It says Acharyam Upasangamya. That means Upasangamya means he approached. Approached whom? Acharyam. Now who is the Acharya? Dronacharya. So seeing the arrangement of the Pandavas, Duryodhana was very fearful. So what did he do? He went to Dronacharya and said something. So it says Raja Vachanam Abravid. Now why he said Raja? Because Duryodhan is not Raja. Duryodhan was never even a Yuvaraj properly. Even Dhritarashtra was never a king. He was Karya Bhari Raja. Means until and unless there is a fit person for the post of emperor, you are the emperor till that time. Karya Bhari Raja. Even Dhritarashtra was never a full-fledged king. Yet he was so much attached to position. These positions, they kill us. Definitely. If we are so much attached to our possessions and positions, definitely it is going to harm us a lot. Because Krishna is very demanding. He says, no, 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 you can't do that. Only I should be there in your heart, no one else. He is very jealous lover. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said that Krishna is transcendental autocrat. It's a very amazing English words he used. Anyway, so he wants autocracy in your heart. He does not want anything else. He likes Shishupal because in the heart of Shishupal, there is only Krishna in the form of hatred. That is why he delivered Shishupal, but he is not delivering all of us. Why? Because we are carrying Krishna also, someone else also, family, society, nation, my own ego, what to Kama Krodha Lobha Mat, what to say. So we are not having just Krishna in our heart. That is the big problem. Anyway, now we'll go to the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So what does he say? He says, Vidita tad abhiprayas tad asham sitam yuddham eva bhavet. So he's saying that, let me open that. Vidita. Vidit means he understood, knowing that Dhritarashtra wanted war. Sanjay said something. What he said? To make him aware that Asham Sitam Yuddham Eva Bhavet. That no matter what you think, the result will be always opposite. He'll say later. Kintu, he's saying that definitely war will happen. Because you wanted war, now war will happen. Kintu, but Tan Manoratha, Tat Manoratha, Mano Artha means whatever you are having in your heart. Because Dhritarashtra was saying something, but he was feeling something else. That was the Abhipraya or meaning of first verse. Please remember this. He said, okay, let me write this. In verse 1, I need to show that screen now. It is visible. Oh, yes. So in
Yes, sir.
verse 1, Dhritarashtra has two emotions. Internally, what happened? Wait a minute. Yeah, that's fine. So in verse 1, there are two meanings. First, internal mood of Dhritarashtra. Now we are talking about Dhritarashtra only, okay? Dhritarashtra. And external. So internal mood he was having of fear, and external he wanted war. That is why here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying something. Okay, you wanted war now? War is coming into your house. Baba, I'm not so good with technology, I think so. So he says, Kintu tan manorath, whatever manorath you are having, na, that fear, tan manorath pratikulamiti. That means whatever you are thinking, na, opposite will happen. If you are saying, na, okay, I want war, I'll win, that opposite will happen for sure. Manasi kritva vach drishtveti. By this word, drishtveti, Sanjay is saying this only. हाँ देखो देखो उल्टा ही होने वाला है जो तुम सोच रहे हो. Whatever you are thinking, opposite will happen. Now, what is the meaning of vyudham? Vyudham means vyuha rachana yavasthitam. Means vyudham means how the vyuh or the army is avasthitam rachana, how they are arranged and made. That means vyudham. Now, Raja. This word I told you, it is very important. Duryodhanaha Shantar Bhavam. Now, what does this mean? He says, Duryodhanaha Santar Bahyam Uvacha Pashyetaniti Navavi Shloka. Now, he's saying that in the 9 verses, further 9 verses, Duryodhan is expressing his heart. And why Raja is said here? Raja is said here only and only to please Dhritarashtra. Because if you want to say something, if the person in front is not ready to listen to you, but definitely he will not listen to you. So what you have to do is say something which might please them. So he's saying, hey Baba, your inner fear, that means there is inner fear of Duryodhan also, that will be expressed in 9 verses, and starting from third verse, okay, from verse 3 to 11, I think so. So these 9 verses, this fear of Duryodhan is being explained. So now we'll move to the third verse. I hope you all are having Bhagavad Gita with yourself, otherwise it will be very difficult for you. So text 3. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So every verse is connected. Okay, so please remember the mood of each verse, otherwise you will be like, what happened? Something went by. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, okay, first we'll understand the verse itself. So he says, Pashyaitam. Now who is speaking this? Sanjay is speaking to Dhritarashtra, but Duryodhan is actually speaking this verse because Raja Vachanam Abravit. This Raja Duryodhan said something. Pashyaitan. Now, whom he is speaking to? Sanjay is speaking to Dhritarashtra. Duryodhan is speaking to Acharya. Who is this Acharya? Dronacharya. So, Upasangamya in the last verse we hear. So, Duryodhan went to Dronacharya and he said, Pashyaitam Pandu Putranam. See how these sons of Pandu Acharyam Mahatim Chamum, oh great Acharya, oh Mahan Acharya, just see this military force arranged, Vyudham, how this great military force of Pandavas are arranged. And arranged by whom? Drupada Patrena. Now he's actually teasing. Drupada Putrena means, who is Drupada Putra? Drishtadyumna. So he's saying, just see this army of Pandavas so nicely arranged by the son of Drupad, that is Drishtadyumna. And who is Drishtadyumna? Tava Shishyena Dhimata. He is your intelligent disciple. So when someone glorifies the enemy, then you can understand the enemy is actually very great. So here he's saying Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Dhi means intelligence, and Dhimata, that means having a lot of intelligence. So Vishwanath ji says, Drupada Putra, where is that verse? Hmm. Wait a minute. Actually, in commentary, two verses are taken together. Ah. ध्रुपदपुत्रेण दृष्टद्युम्नेन तव शिष्येन स्ववदार्थम उत्पन्न iti. So he's saying that Duryodhan, when he saw all the armies prepared by the Pandavas, then what he is doing, he is actually telling to Acharya that actually what you are, you might be foolish. See, Drupada Putrena Drishtadumnena. Who is Drupada Putra? Drishtadumnena. And who is he? Tava Shishyena. He is actually your Shishya. And what did you do? Swavadartham utpanna iti. He was actually born just to kill you. Swa vadh artham utpanna. Utpanna means he was actually produced because Drishtadumna and Draupadi, they are a yonija. They are not born from the womb of a woman. See, you all must remember, or if you have not, you can listen to this past time. What happened in Mahabharata? We see two kinds of friendships. Let's go. So first friendship we have is of Drupad and Drona. And second friendship we have of Krishna and Arjun. This is completely negative friendship. This is completely positive. The friendship of Drupad and Drona is all based on just lies and hypocrisy. But the friendship based on Krishna and Arjun is born out of true friendship. That is, there is some love between, there's not some love, very pure love between Krishna and Arjun. The love between Drupad and Drona is like just very hypocritical behavior. So what happened in Mahabharata when Drupad and Drona were in Gurukul? So see, Brahman and Kshatriya together in Gurukul. So whatever the propaganda the this so-called Samaj are following, they're spreading in today's society, this is all false. Anyway, so at that time, Drupad made a promise to Drona. He said that, okay, when I'll become king, na, because I am son of king, so when I'll become king, at that time, I'll give you 50% of my kingdom. तो बच्चे हैं, अब हो सकता है झूठ भी बोला हो, but Drona being a Brahmin, he took that very seriously. And the way Drupad made that promise was also very serious. But what happened when Drupad actually became king and Drona was actually suffering from poverty? The family of Drona was very poor, that much poor that they did not have enough money to get some milk for their son, that is Droni or Ashwathama. And the wife of Drona, Kripi, she was also very sick. She became very thin. Dronachar was also suffering like anything. So at that time, he remembered, oh, I have a friend who said that he'll give 50% of his kingdom to me. But when he went to Drupad, what did Drupad do? Instead of properly welcoming him, he actually started making fun of him. He said, oh, we were just kids. Whenever a kid says something, we just have to ignore. But Drona said, okay, anyway, we were kids, but I'm suffering. Can you please help me at least? He did not even helped him. What he did, तो बहुत बेइज्जती कर दिया था. He just criticized him like anything. Oh, you poor fellow, you are actually making this courtyard of mine filthy. Just get out. So what did that happen? See, Brahmins have very, fragile ego. Although they are very tolerant, but if their ego is shattered, it's very dangerous. So Drona at that time, he thought of revenge. So Bhishma Pitamaha, he took Dronacharya under shelter. See, at that time, Dronacharya stopped giving any kind of teachings to general masses. He was not running any kind of Gurukul at that time. But on the request of Bhishma Pitama, because Namak hai na, so he said, Bhishma Pitama said that you please teach these Kuru Vamsh childrens the science of military arts and other educations like Veda, Purana, Upanishad, ityadi. So Dronacharya had to accept. Anyway, he was a teacher, he cannot live without teaching. So he accepted that. So that Gurukul was only and only meant for the Kuru Rajkumars, 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas. That's it. That means no one else was allowed to participate in those classes because Dronacharya stopped giving classes earlier only. Now there is a small bhranti or misconception in the society that when Ekalavya came, he was not allowed because he was coming from a very small caste or he was very outcast. That is not true. That class was itself meant for Kuru Rajkumaras only. Even you are a fit candidate or unfit candidate, if there is something called reserved, then you are not allowed. For example, pujaris are allowed in the Garbhagriha. Now, one may be a very amazing pujari, but if he is not shuchi, or if he is not clean enough, or he's not perfect enough, or he's not allowed to enter the sanctum, inner sanctum, that means he's not allowed. It does not mean that the inner sanctum rules are wrong, the Pancharatrak Vidhi is wrong. No, that person itself is wrong in that wrong time. So, and also he did some Chori Vidya. That means he was learning from Dronacharya only. It's not that he was learning from that Putla which he made. He was learning from Dronacharya by hiding in the bushes and he was listening and just watching things like that. And also he was a great Asur, Ekalavya. See, in the society, we have to understand who are the real heroes and who are the real villains. The party of Pandavas and Krishna are the heroes, not all party. There are many villains on the side of Pandavas also. When we'll progress, maybe we can have a separate class on Mahabharata also. Anyway, this Drupad and all, these are also villains. See how this behavior of Drupad, now he's on the side of Pandavas. How can we call him a hero? Exactly, right? So we'll understand those points later on in the classes. So this friendship of Drupad and Drona, it is based on lies, hypocrisy, and chastisement. But the friendship of Krishna and Arjun, it is based upon love, reciprocation, surrender, and service. So going in life, we should make sure that our friends or the whatever friendship we keep with our friends, it should be based on love, sacrifice, and it should have some kind of service. See here, Krishna and Arjun, Nar and Narayan, both are there. So I cannot say that Krishna should be in the center of that friendship. Krishna is there in that friendship. But for in our case, Hari Katha, Hari Charcha, or Hari Naam should be the center of friendship. Otherwise, the friendship will not work for sure. Now, moving to the further commentary by Vishwanath ji. He says, Swa Vardhartham Utpanna iti. Drishtudum is born just to kill you. And Janatapi Toyayam Adhyapita iti. Even though knowing that this person will kill you, you gave him Adhyayan, Adhyapita iti. You gave him teachings. So what kind of acharya are you? So instead of saying आप बहुत महान आचार्य हो, जो आपको मारना चाहता है उसी को ही देखो शिक्षा दे दिया. So it is actually criticizing or teasing someone. So Duryodhan, very bad fellow, teasing his own acharya. And what else he says? Tava manda buddhitvam. You have manda buddhi. You are a foolish number one. What does he says? Dhimateti shaturapi tatah sakshat tadvadhopaya vidya griheti asya mahabudhitvam phal kalepi pashyeti bhavaha. Now we'll see this intelligent disciple of yours is actually shatrorapi. Dhimateti shatrorapi. He is actually your enemy. Api nishchahi. Certainly he is your enemy. And tattah sakshat tad vadhaopaya vidya griheti. And he has specially earned the vidya or knowledge to kill you from you. Asya mahabudhitvam. So, such a nice, intelligent person you are. Phal kalepi pashyeti bhava. In future, we'll see what will happen because of your this foolishness. So, it's not a great person, this Duryodhan. Okay. verse number 4 to 6. So I am reciting here, even you can recite on your wherever you are available. So from verse 4 to 6 are clubbed together. In Srila Prabhupada book, they are not clubbed together. It's no worries. So verse number 4. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhe Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharathaha. So we'll go to the verse number 5 also. Drishtaketushchekitanah Kashirajascha Viryavan Purojit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha
Bhagavad Gita.
Narapungavaha
Bhagavad Gita.
Manyuscha Vikranta Uttamaujaschcha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharathaha. Let's go. So first we'll understand the verses easily. Atra. So after telling or teasing or criticizing Dronacharya, he thought, "अरे यार कुछ ज्यादा तो नहीं बोल दिया कहीं?" Because our side only na, why discourage someone? So he's saying, because he's a very bad fellow, so he's actually fearful. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, what did he say in verse number 2? That in 9 verses we'll see the fear, internal fear. So when you are fearful, what you will say? You will actually express your fear. So he's saying, Atra Shura. Shura means very great heroes are assembled here. Maha Ishu Asaha. That means they are having great bows. They are very nice bowmen. And what they are? Bhimarjuna Samayudhi. They are equal to Bhim and Arjun. That means Duryodhan fellow, he is actually very much afraid of two people, Bhim and Arjun. And now he is even afraid more. Why? Because all the yodhas assembled, which he is actually seeing, Pashyeti. So what he is seeing, he is actually seeing that, Hare Baba, all these warriors are actually on equal footing with Bhim and Arjun. So now heartbeat increased. Yuyudhano, first person who he is mentioning is Yuyudhan. Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. He's saying Yuyudhan, Virat, that is the king of Virat, and Drupadash. Drupad is also there. So in the very first 3 names, he is taking the name of Drupad. So that the anger of Dronacharya is also awakened. And at the same time, he is also saying, भाई द्रुपद भी उधर है ना, जिसने बोला था कि तुमको मारेंगे. धृष्टद्युम्न बेटा भी है और द्रुपद भी बैठा हुआ है. So he is actually very fearful person. And who all are they? They are Maharathas. So I'll explain you who are Rathas, Maharathas, Atirathas, and Ardharathas. These 4 I'll explain you, because I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave the, yes, there is one verse explaining all these. Now, what else he is saying? Drishtaketus Chekitanaha. Chekitana means son of Chedi Raja. Now, who is Chedi Raja? Shishupal. The son of Shishupal is on the side of Pandavas. Interesting, na? See, this is first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So much interest is there. How come Shishupal, who is the enemy of Krishna, his son is fighting on the side of Pandavas? Because after killing Shishupal, Krishna made sure his son became the king only, no one else. So he was indebted to Krishna. So Drishtaketu bhi tha. Chekitana means son of Chediraja Shishupal. Kashi Rajas. So they had 12 years of Vanavas and 1 year of Agyatavas. And if Agyatavas was disturbed, then again they have to go to 12 years of Vanavas and 1 year of Agyatavas. So the plan of Duryodhan was that every time Agyatavas comes, he will immediately disturb their Agyatavas. Agyat means no one can know where they are. Agyatavas. No one knows where is the Vas. No one knows where they are living. And if Agyatavas is disturbed, means someone is able to find out, oh, these are Pandavas, they are living here. That means it is called Agyatavas Bhanga. It is disturbed. Then what they have to do? Again 12 years of Vanavas and 1 year of Agyatavas. So this was the plan of Shakuni, to make sure Pandavas, they die in forest actually. They never ever see the face of palace ever again. And Kashi Raj. So during the time of Agyatavas, Pandavas took the shelter of Kashi Raja. No, I think Virat. Yeah, they took the shelter of Virat. Anyway, Kashi Raj means the king of the city of Varanasi or Kashi. And he's saying, Cha Viryavan, they are Viryavans, Maharathas, Viryavans, Purujit, Kunti Bhojascha, Shaibhyascha, Narapungavaha. So we have Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, Shaibhya, Ityadi. who are also very powerful. And then he says, Yudha Manyuscha Vikranta Uttamaujascha Viryavan Shraubhadro Drupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharatha. He's saying everyone is actually Maharat. So we have Yudha Manyu, Uttamauja, son of Subhadra, that means Abhimanyu. So see, among the prominent names taken by Duryodhan, Abhimanyu came, the youngest warrior. And the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are Maharathas. They are great warriors. So he's actually very fearful when you see your enemy standing in front of you. Okay, now we'll go to the commentary. Let's see what does Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says here. He says, Atra Chamavan, now the troops or the assembly is being explained. Mahantah Shatrubhish Chetum Ashakya Ishvasa Dhanumshi Yeshamde. That means all these leaders who are having this great bow, Ishvasaha, it will be Chetum Ashakya. It will be very impossible to cut down. That means these leaders are actually very difficult to defeat. See, when two archers are fighting, when one is considered that he has lost, when their bow is actually cut down. So he says, Chetum Ashakya Ishvasa Dhanumshi Yesham. Among all these, it is very difficult to cut even their bows. What to think about cutting their head? It is very even difficult to cut their bows. Now, what does he says? Yuyudhanaha Satyaki. Now, who is this Yuyudhan? He is Satyaki. He is actually a Yaduvamshi. As per Bhagwan Shri Krishna in Mahabharata, Satyaki is actually a diplomatic person. He just wanted to fight. He was not very much worried about Kauravas or Pandavas. He just went there as the head of Chaturangi Narayani Sena. See, when Krishna was lying in his bed in Dwarka, Arjun and Duryodhan both went to take the help that from whom side Krishna will fight. So when they entered the inner courtyard where Krishna was lying down beautifully, see, even when God lies down, he is also beautiful. When we lie down, anyway. So when Krishna was lying down there beautifully, very handsomely, Duryodhan went and stood at the head side, and Arjun, he was standing near the feet side. So naturally, if someone is like taking rest, when he opens his eyes, he will see the person who is standing near the head. So naturally, he asked, "Oh, what do you want from me, Duryodhan?" Then Duryodhan said, I want you." So Krishna said, "No, no, no, I am not going to fight. I'm not even going to pick up any kind of shastra or astra. So yeah, but my army is there. Chaturangi Narayani Sena headed by Satyaki or Yuyudhan. If you want, you can take me or you can take the army." Duryodhan, even without thinking for a single second, he said, हाँ चतुरंगी नारायणी सेना ऑब्वियसली ये ग्वाला क्या करेगा तो रथ भी नहीं अपना अस्त्र भी नहीं उठा रहा है किसी काम का नहीं है. He knew Krishna was a trickster. He definitely knew this, but without any weapon, what kind of tricks he can play? This is the mood of an atheist person. He thinks if God is carrying some kind of weapon, then only he is powerful. Such kind of materialistic vision for the Supreme Lord. If you see Vrindavan Vraj Leelas of Krishna, tell me one astra used by Krishna to kill any demon. Shaktasur killed by just the push of a leg. Putna killed by this lips. Arishtasur by his fist. Aghasur is just torn apart. Bakasur also torn apart. So, and who was that? Trinavarth, nothing, just hugged tightly. So, what kind of Astra Shastra was used by Krishna? Anyway, so there is some conception that God means one who is having like 1,000 arms. So, this is actually low intelligence or low IQ to understand the God. Because yes, God is great. There are so many faiths who are saying God is great, God is so nice, God is this and that. But in Sanatana Dharma, when you go very deeply, especially in Bhakti, then you will understand God is not just great. You have to understand how he is great, because he is actually very sweet, or the sweetest ever. So, or you can say Krishna is all sweet. No one else is sweet. That sweetness which we are seeing in the world is actually coming from Krishna also. So only Krishna is sweet. This is the conclusion. No one else is sweet. That sweetness is also coming from Krishna. Only Krishna is rich. No one else is rich. Everything belongs to Krishna. Only Krishna is the beautiful. No one else is having any kind of beauty, because that beauty is also coming from Krishna. So in this way, Duryodhana asked for Chaturangi Narayani Sena, and what did Arjun do? He was very happy. Oh, I got Krishna, because he was having devotion in his heart. And Duryodhana, anyway, envious. So he says, Yuyudhana Satyaki. Yuyudhana is Satyaki. Saubhadro Abhimanyu. Who is Saubhadra? Means the son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu. द्रौपदेया युधिष्ठिरादिभ्यः पंचभ्यो जातः प्रतिविंध्यादयः. Then Draupadya means the son of Draupadi, and beginning from Yudhishthiradi means Draupadi was having children from all the five Pandavas. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says Yudhishthir means from Yudhishthir. Pancha Yudhishthir Adi means from Panch Pandavas. Panchabhyo Jata, five sons were born. Prativindhya Adaya. So Prativind and four others. So if you want, you can note down these names of five sons of Draupadi. No one is going to ask you, but better to fill your mind or intelligence with scriptural knowledge rather than such garbage outside. So from Yudhishthir, the name is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It says Prativindhya. Oh, it's a noun, na? Prativindhya. And who is the next one? Bhim. Majle Bhaiya. From Bhim came Sutta Soma. From Arjun, a very mighty warrior, Shrutakarma. Apologies for bad handwriting. And from Nakul, again another mighty warrior, was very skilled in archery and swords also. Shatanika. Shatanika. I and bar. Shatanika. And from Sahadev, another mighty warrior, Shrutasena. These five were alive till the very last day of battlefield, but killed by Ashwathama when they were sleeping. Mercilessly killed. So from Yudhishthir, Prativindhya, Bhima, Sutasoma, Arjuna, Shrudakarma, Nakul, Shatanika, and from Sahadeva, Shrutasen. Okay. Now what does next Vishwanath says? We'll find that. He says, Eko Dasha Sahasrani Yodhyedyastu Dhanvinam Shastra Shastra Praminascha Mahartha iti Smritaha. Okay. So he's saying Eka Dasha Sahasrani Yodhyed. That means one who is fighting with 10 into 1000, 10,000 Yodhyed. So if any warrior he is fighting with 10,000 warriors, then also at that same time Shastra Shastra Pravina. He is also expert in both weapons and scriptures also. Cha Maharatha iti. That person is called Maharathi. What does else he says? Amitan yodhyes yastu sampraukto athirastu saha. Amitan yodhyan. That means one who can fight with unlimited soldiers. He is called Athirat. And then tu saha Rathi Chaikena yo yudhet. If someone is fighting with one person only, that person is Rathi. And Tan Nuno. That means anyone who is fighting less than that is called Ardharatah Smrita. So very easily you can understand this. So I'll just make a quick chart so that you don't forget this. So first came, excuse me, Maharathi. then Atirathi. What was else? Rathi and Ardharathi. So who was Marathi? One who can fight 10,000 warriors. And what was the another exception? Not exception, qualification. Uh, expert in weapons and scriptures. Atirati, unlimited warriors. Rathi, just one. And Ardharathi, less than Rathi. That is, he's just a warrior. He may be able to fight one or maybe less than. So when we say Rathi, that means they all are from Rath. So they must be on Rath. And Athirathi on the ground is not Athirathi. Obviously, he is an Athirathi, but he has to be on Rath. So in Mahabharat, whenever the Rath was destroyed by the opposite party, then immediately a new Rath was being brought. So when Dushashan was being butchered by Bhima, first thing which Bhim did was he broke his chariot. So the new chariot was being sent by Duryodhan. So Bhim, even before the chariot arrived, he took one great boulder and he threw on that new Rath. So even Duryodhan was, shaking. How can I send another Rath? So he let his brother die. That much brave he was. Okay, now what's the time? 8:54. So I think we can end here. We can take some questions. I thought of doing like all the 11 verses. Okay, if I take all the 11 verses, no, we have some big purports. Anyway, we'll end here in verse number 7. So from verse number 7 onwards, Duryodhan will try to explain who is on our side, because he does not want Dronacharya to like have some moroseness. हाँ भाई बहुत बड़े बड़े योद्धा हैं वहां पर. So he is trying to hide his fear by saying नहीं हमारे साइड में भी अच्छे अच्छे लोग हैं हम बताते हैं अभी. So this is for today's class. Thank you so much. यतद्रस्खलितं किंचित् विद्वांसः पूरयन्तु तं यतद्रशौष्ठवं किंचित् तद्गुरोरेव मे नहि. So whatever I said, there will be a lot of mistakes in that, definitely. So you are all Vidvat Janas, expert in many fields. Please help me correct those mistakes. And Yatadrashtoshtavam Kinchit, whatever good you have heard, it is all because of the mercy of the Mantra Gurus, Shiksha Gurus, etc. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna,
Over
Prabhuji.
to
Thank
you,
you very much for the class.
Mataji and others.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Do you have some time to take the questions, Prabhu? Can we take some?
Yes, definitely.
Dear devotees, if anybody has any questions, please ask to Prabhuji. Raise your hand. Yeah, Hansa Mataji, please go ahead.
You are on mute, Mataji. Okay, meanwhile, Mihika, you can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for such an enlightening and detailed class, including the commentaries. So Prabhuji, how you were talking about in verse 1, the two meanings of the Dhritarashtra's mood, I didn't really understand. Like internal, I understood he had fear, but then externally, how you described that he was pretty confident that they'll win the war, but I didn't understand the contradict part of it.
Yeah, it actually looks contradictory. You see, the thing is, Dhritarashtra is expert in hiding his emotions, because people who are actually very weak, they try to show that they are very powerful, but internally they are very like terrorized. So when he said, Kim Akurvat, oh, what did they do? So internally he is saying like, oh, I don't want my sons to become dharmic, and because that is dharma kshetra. And when the verse number second, Sanjay, he knew that okay, you are hiding your fear, so let me show you. He said, Hey Baba, Pashyaitan Drishtva. He said, see, how nicely they have arranged. Definitely you are going to lose. So he is actually affirming the fear of Dhritarashtra. Sanjay is actually doing that. So Dhritarashtra is trying to hide in verse number 1 that I might lose. Why? Because two reasons. Pandav will win because the land is of dharma, and my sons might become dharmic. See, these two reasons he is actually hiding. So Sanjay in verse number 2 is saying, oh, see this first. The how nicely they have arranged. Definitely you are going to lose only. So whatever you are hiding in your heart, that will be happening. So this is the samanvay or harmonizing of two verses. So now it will not appear contradictory.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mika. Hansa Mataji, can you unmute yourself? I think there is some problem with the mic. Hemu Mataji, can you ask your question first?
Yes, Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. Beautiful
Pranam.
lecture. My question is, Krishna was on the battlefield, but why did he not do anything when Arjun's 5 sons were killed brutally? He was right there. What is the reason for that?
Okay. So it's a very amazing question asked by Mataji. Like, why Krishna let certain things happen? See, if you see Bhishma Stuti, let me open that verse. So whatever Krishna does, it might appear good or bad in terms of the viewer. See, the thing is, Krishna is beyond three modes of nature. We are contaminated by the three modes of nature. So whenever we see certain Leela, we see through these eyes of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. So that's why we think that, oh, Krishna let that thing happen, so cruel. The son, see, more than Arjun, Krishna loved Abhimanyu. There is a book by K.S. Narayanacharya of Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. I read that whole book 3 times. Those 18 days, if you want to learn more about Mahabharata, you can read that book. So in that book, Narayanacharya Swami says that Krishna does not want the name Mama to be known to be known in bad terms in future. Because of Shakuni Mama and Kans Mama in Mahabharata, we know that both are negative characters. And Shri Krishna is also Mama or the maternal uncle of Abhimanyu. To make sure this name is not having a blot remark in future, Krishna himself personally, because for 12 years in Vanavas and 1 year Agyatavas, father was not there. Arjun was not there to take care of Abhimanyu. Krishna was the one who taught him all the Vedas. Krishna was the one who taught him all the Upanishads. Krishna was the one who taught him Dhanur Veda, Ayurveda, and all the other Vedas. So, more than Arjun, it was actually Krishna who was loving Abhimanyu. There was so this was the first perspective, that Krishna was actually loving Abhimanyu more than Arjun. Now, why Krishna let that happen? Because we are seeing on the vision of three modes of nature. When Krishna does something, there are multiple teachings in that. First mistake which Abhimanyu did was he broke his brahmacharya just a day before the fight. So if someone is breaking his brahmacharya in the battlefield or just before fighting, not just a day before, some time before. So it was suppose if someone is supposed to fight, like we have this wrestling, kushti. So these wrestlers, they take care very nicely of their brahmacharya, and otherwise they'll be very weak. But Abhimanyu did not, or was not that much attentive in that, and that is why we got Parikshit Maharaj also anyway from Uttara. So he was little bit weak in that. Also, we hear in TV serial that when Krishna was in TV serial, we see that Arjun was explaining Chakravyuh to Subhadra, and Subhadra fell asleep. But this is not mentioned in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, it is mentioned that Krishna was teaching Chakravyuh to Abhimanyu. And Krishna himself stopped at the point when there was supposed to be the next portion of the teaching, that how to get out of that Chakravyuh. So from the womb, Abhimanyu was actually saying, okay, what next? Okay, next, what will happen? Then Krishna said actually in Mahabharata, oh, shut up, kid, you are becoming too intelligent. That's it. So Krishna is actually using all the characters of Mahabharata to fulfill a lot of things. First, he wanted to show the world that Dronacharya is a kapati person. I'll tell you a very great secret that is mentioned in Mahabharata by K.S. Naranacharya. All the warriors, they wear some kind of shield, right?
Yeah.
And it is tied from behind. Now, these shields are very powerful. No arrows will break through, because all the vital organs are here only. Even if you cut hand or legs, those warriors are very powerful. They can sustain for days. Like when the thighs of Duryodhan was broken, he was still lying but alive. He was in pain, but he didn't die out of blood loss or this and so many things which happen now. They are not Kalyugi warriors. Anyway, so all the vital organs are here: the heart, chest, liver, stomach, pancreas, and everything. So without removing the shield, or without having any kind of very powerful weapon that could cut the shield, or pierce the shield, you cannot kill that warrior. Abhimanyu's shield was that much powerful. No one could give a fatal injury to Abhimanyu. Also, it is impossible to cut his neck, because he was very fierce warrior, Maharathi, Atirathi. So what happened? When before the war, Abhimanyu was practicing on the beach in Dwarka. At that time, Dronacharya was there in Dwarka. And when he saw this sweet little boy of age 14 and 15, before the battlefield, he was 14 and 15, he was actually fighting the ocean. He was fighting the air. And Lord Krishna was instructing everything. When Dronacharya saw this, he said, how come such a small boy is able to understand? Then suddenly he saw Krishna, he said, oh, now I understand why he is able to do that. But he was thinking, this is not Krishna's son. Krishna is having thousands of sons, but he is not among that. So whose son he is? Then he very carefully saw the knot behind the shield. So there were two knots, that those were like वो ऐसे बांधी हुई थी कि it looked like there is no knot in that shield. So very invisible. So you cannot open that knot. So when Abhimanyu entered the Chakravyuh, Drona actually revealed this secret to Karna, how to open the knot of Abhimanyu's shield. धोखा इसी को कहते हैं. One should not remove the shield of a warrior like this and then fight. Either have the capacity to pierce it, have the capacity to decapitate that person, have the capacity to cut the shield, but do not open it like such thieves. So what Dronacharya was the one who made all the plannings how to kill Abhimanyu. 7 great warriors were involved, and the planning was done by Drona. He told Karna how to open that shield. And he told especially that if you go in front and try to go behind and then open the shield, definitely you will lose your head within 2 seconds. That much fierce warrior Abhimanyu is. So what you have to do, you have to sneak behind like a coward, like a thief. And at that time, Shalya will kill the horses. I will kill the Sarathi. All three things should have to happen at the same time. Otherwise, Abhimanyu, if even there is a simple mistake in synchronous movement, Abhimanyu will kill all three: Dronacharya, Shalya, and Karna. And other warriors were also engaged. Shakuni and Dushasan, these all were also engaged at that time. Ashwathama as well. So you can understand how great Abhimanyu was. All these warriors, whatever name I took, Drupad and all, they were amazing warriors. But for that, we have to read Mahabharata. Then only we'll get to know. In serial, only few are heroes, few are villains. For example, apart from Duryodhan and Dushasan, 98 sons, their names are not even very easily known. Vikarna, you can say, other was having just nameplate, 47, son number 22, son number 35, like that you can understand. But in Mahabharata, you have all the names. Anyway, so when Drona killed the chariot driver, at the same time Shalya killed the horses. At that same time, Karna came from behind and he opened that shield. And at that very same time, Shakuni cut the arms of Abhimanyu. So it was Dronacharya who did that. So to reveal that, we say na Dronacharya is such a great acharya on the wrong side of battlefield. Sir, we have to understand Krishna reveals everything by one act. And in Bhishma Stuti, I'll show you that verse so that your heart is actually satisfied. So we'll go to Canto number 1. Let me open that verse for you. So you'll be happy to see that. And we'll go to chapter number 9. So from verse number 32, Bhishma Stuti starts. Yes, verse number 39. Please very carefully say this verse. It says, Vijayarata kutumbe atra totre dhritahayarashmini tachriye kshaniye bhagavati ratirastu me mumurshur yam iha nirikshya hatagata swarupam yam iha nirikshya hatagata swarupam. Anyone who died on the battlefield, because Krishna was present there, because of his nirikshana, everyone attained their swarupam. What does the translation say? Those who saw him on the battlefield attained their original forms after death. So was that why? Is this good gati for Abhimanyu? Yes. So what happens because of these three modes? We give lot of purport to Leelas. So best is to stick to scriptures. You'll be definitely be happy because that is the perspective of Krishna through Vedavyas, through Acharyas to us. Sorry for the long answer, but this was supposed to give Shraddha to your heart towards the actions of Lord Krishna, because Janma Karma Chame Divyam. His activities are transcendental. It cannot be questioned. Even if you question, you will love it because the answers are amazing by Acharyas. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Prabhuji, can I ask another question?
If Hansa Mataji is able to unmute now, then you may go second.
Sure.
Let's see.
Hansa Mataji.
Third time's a charm. All right, Hemi Mataji, it's you only.
Okay, Prabhuji, this is another question similar to what I asked. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to because I'm confused. When Arjun's 5 children were killed, Arjun was crying and Krishna was right there. But they always say when someone dies, you should not cry, otherwise they suffer. But then Arjun is crying and Krishna is there. How are we not supposed to cry?
All right. So this is half truth. As per Garuda Puran, if someone dies, we have the right to cry for them for the first 4 days. And after that, we are not supposed to cry. See, lamentation is recommended by scriptures because there are emotional attachments. If someone from our family, from our friend circle, worst devotee circle, because in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, the viraha of Vaishnav, that pain is the highest, or losing your guru, this pain is very high. So if we lose someone, we are given 4 days to cry. And after that, each drop of tear turns into mucus, I think. It turns into mucus, and that mucus is fed to that person who left the body. So we are actually giving suffering to that person who left us. So 4 days are given. So when Arjun was crying, it was recommended. But Arjun was not crying after Mahabharat war, or when he was ruling under the commandship of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yes, some time is there. Definitely when you remember that person, you will cry. But that intensity will not be the same. That anyone can guarantee that. So instead of remembering and crying after 4 days, 4 days you should cry. There was one person who joined the ISKCON movement, and when Prabhupada was present, physically present on this earth, he said, "Oh, I should join this renunciant ashram because when my wife died, I did not even shed one single drop of tear." Prabhupada said, "You are not even a human. Your wife died. Someone who is called Ardhangani, the half of your body. someone who was there to serve you, someone who was there to support you emotionally, physically, and that person left you and do not even spare one drop of tear. How come a person who is having such a dry heart can have love for Krishna? So Prabhupada rejected that person. Obviously, when rejected means rejected into entering brahmachari ashram, but accepted into bhakti, and that person became a great devotee later. So yes, we are allowed to cry for the first 4 days, but at that after that, when we remember that person, we should pray to Krishna for their gati, good gati. May they attain the service of the lordships. Okay.
How do we prevent from crying after 4 days? Because we are so
Well,
attached.
as I said, attachment can be good also and bad also. If you are too attached, then definitely when you will leave the body, your gati will be not good.
Yes. Yes.
So I think, I'll not say I think, the scriptures recommend that the first thing, we should all be very selfish towards our own gati.
Mm.
What would be my future? That would be the first like cause of living. So we should understand that this might create hindrance in my future.
And also, we have to think
Yeah,
that
so
they are going to
it
suffer.
it
So,
is better to cry for Krishna, cry for devotees, cry for acharyas, and someone who is very beloved to us. Even if you are crying, that cry should have some kind of prayers.
yes, yes,
It should not be driven just by emotional sentiments. Otherwise, those sentiments will cloud your consciousness. See, it is important to be human first. We human can only do dharma. So even if you are not human, how can you dharma? Where the consciousness can be very low. So first be conscious, then Krishna conscious, or at the same time be conscious and Krishna consciousness. So have emotions. We are not emotionless stones like Buddhists who say everything is zero. We are following the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed. Krishna is full of varieties, full of beauties. His devotees are full of varieties and beauties. We must hanker for their association. If someone leaves this association and we miss them, have some kind of prayer for them instead of just emotionally crying. Pray
yes,
for them. Bring
yes,
Krishna into picture.
yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Beautiful answer. And I love it that you reminded me that Krishna is so sweet. I
Yes,
forgot.
Krishna is.
I know he's beautiful and kind and generous and everything, but you just reminded me that he's so sweet, and that just stuck to me again. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, I don't think there is no more questions. I have very quick thing, Prabhuji, to say. When you are saying about Rati and Ardhrati, that is a bit confusing, Prabhuji. Ardhrati, you say that less than Rati. So Rati is means who is on the Rath, right? Who is fighting from the Rath 1 to 1. Rathi is that.
All the categories were of Rath only. Atyarathi,
Okay.
Ardharathi, Rathi, and
Maharathi
Maharathi.
and yeah,
All are fighting on Rathas only. That is why Rath word is used.
right.
So Rathi is topmost.
No. I'm asking about Ardhrati. Ardhrati.
Ardharathi,
Yeah.
obviously the least one. He
Yeah.
cannot even fight one person easily, 1 to 1. So even though being on the Rath, he might fight the horsemen, or he might
Oh,
find the people who are paladins, like walking on the by feet, like that you can say.
then he is the
Warrior,
most.
but not so strong like Rathi.
He is the most
Just below.
bravest one. Then he is most bravest in
Yeah.
this condition. He is coming to
He
battlefield.
got Rath, he can fight, but not like a Rathi.
Right. And Prabhu, when we are asking that why Bhishma Pitama stand towards the Duryodhana, right? Evils. So you justified one thing that Krishna is will that, and Krishna arrange everything. But we heard that Bhishma Pitama is so attached, or take a vow that I will be always with the throne of the Hastinapur. That is also one reason we heard. That is this true, or this is
Is
myth?
the reason. See, I'll tell you, there are many reasons, but the prominent reason will give you satisfaction of heart.
Right. That is the Krishna is
Because
always.
I'll tell you one more prominent reason which we heard just now in this Bhishmashtami festival by His Holiness Bhakti Padma Maharaj. He told us, he gave a secret to us, that among so many Vaikunthas, there is one Parthasarthi Vaikuntha. There, Lord is eternally fighting with Bhishma Dev.
Oh,
And there are no Kauravas also. So he is giving the relishment of Virya Ras to
To
Bhishma Dev
himself.
there.
Hmm.
So he is just replicating that pastime here in Mahabharata.
Okay.
See, this
Hmm.
will give you more satisfaction than हाँ उन्होंने वो कसम खाई थी ना इसीलिए उनको बेचारे को रहना पड़ा था.
Yeah, this is the only thing which we heard.
Yeah, the prominent reason will give you more rasa, more
Right,
excitement about Krishna and his values.
right. Thank you very much,
Mika, what?
Prabhuji. Thank you much. Yeah. Mihika, do you have any other question? You raised your hand. Oh, my mistake.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm really sorry. I had a follow-up question on how you talked about the five sons and how Krishna didn't do so much about it. So I just wanted to ask, like, when it was the six sons of Devki, and then they were killed by Kans. It was some backstory, like there was something on the back. So is there something related to this one too?
Yeah, they were Vasus, na? Ashta Sapta Ashtam Vasus. I forgot the past time. I made a note of that. Wait. I need to find that one. I forgot the past time right now. वो क्या थे उनके साथ नहीं वसूस वर डिफरेंट आई थिंक दोज वर ऑफ भीष्म पितामह who stole the cow of Vasishtha Muni and then got cursed है ना ये तो भीष्म देव वाला था who were because Bhishma Dev was the also eighth son na or seventh son eighth son na so the seven sons which died were actually Vasus so Bhishma Dev was the Ashtavasu what was the pastime of Krishna's so I remember one commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur just now that the sons which died so six sons were Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. These six sons represent these six sins: lust, anger, greed, envy, like this. So the garbh of Devaki was being cleansed. So first son gone, greed gone. Second, lust gone. Third, envy gone. Fourth, Matsarya. Like this, Kam, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mats, illusion, and all everything went away. Then came Sankarshana, that is Balram. When Balram came, that means Krishna appears only where there is Balram or Dhama Tattva. Krishna uses everything of Balram Tattva only. So that the Garbha, it became qualified where Krishna will now appear. Then as eighth son, Krishna appeared. So I remember this reason given by an Acharya. But the backstory I'm
Okay.
not able to.
And
Like,
was there something for the five sons that died of Draupadi?
okay. Although I read the book, let's if even if I try to remember, I'm not getting why they do those five died. Anyway, first thing we remember that all of those who died, they all attained their sarupa, so there is no worry about that. Okay, I'll find it out and let you know because I have read it definitely. It's a very big book, Mahabharat, 1 lakh verses. Naranacharya's book is also very big. So I'll try to find out. If I don't think he mentioned something. Okay, let's see. If I'll find out, I'll share with you. है
Okay,
ना?
Prabhuji.
Because it's
Thank you
good to
very
have
much.
somebody else why this happened or why that happened. It gives a shraddha.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much,
much,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So,
Okay.
Prabhuji,
So
we don't have any. Yeah,
I'll
please.
request everyone to kindly revise the verses of Bhagavad Gita. When I say revise, that means first recite and then try to focus on the exact Sanskrit words. Like today, you have heard around from 2 to verse number 7 we went, na? So like you did so many verses. So there are so many important words like Acharyam Mahati. What is the meaning of Mahati? Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Dhimata, what does that mean? Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. This Abravit word will come a lot. Abravit means he spoke. So Vachanam means words. So try to register these Sanskrit words because these are words of Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So these are very divine. Thank you. Amit Prabhu, you may conclude
Thank,
the session now.
thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. I think we can wind up the call now. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Shant Gopinath
Yeah.
Prabhuji ki jai. Vancha kalpataru कृपा सिंधु भैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः समस्त
Jai
कोटि
Jai.
वैष्णववृंद की जय हरे कृष्ण
See you all
Thank
next
you.
Saturday.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Vishnu.